Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I see some faces that aren't real bright and shiny, but we'll change that, won't we? Today, we're going to talk about the law of balance. This is something I think a lot of us really struggle with, the law of balance. Balance in nature, as we see it, can be seen in the forest, with the forest fires, can be seen all over the world as we have the tsunamis, and we have the all the issues with the water and the weather and our ecosystem. But balance can also be seen the four tires of a car. If one of the tires of the car is out of balance, you go down the road bumpy, you automatically feel the difference. Balance can also be felt in a room when you walk in. Have you ever noticed that if you might have been bubbly at the restaurant with one individual, but then you go to work and there might be somebody that's over bubbly there, and your personality, your traits are going to level off, because everything in our lives seek balance. And I think that's sort of a phenomenal thing. We don't really notice it. We don't notice that we go through all these different changes unless you're a watcher. I'm a watcher. I look at all of these things and I always go, But if we can listen and watch, we will find where we are out of balance and more easily come into balance. Our health is another one of those things where our bodies constantly seek balance. They will force the issue. The law of balance states that all actions of nature, between two opposites in nature, or between humans, must be equal or balanced. Balance and perfection are normal states, not abnormal. Balance and perfection are the perfect state. The nature of our thoughts creates the imbalance, and nature's constant push to bring us back into harmony is the ill health or the disrest that you're going to feel. Many of us feel exhausted or tired when we're out of balance. We'll actually get thoughts that say, oh, maybe you should be taking vitamins, or maybe you should be doing more exercise, or maybe you should be out putting your hands in the garden. We hear these thoughts, we ignore them, but we hear them as our bodies seek to bring balance. When we go and do this long-awaited project, and we put a lot of time into it, or we go on vacation, how many vacations have you gone on? And you're tired when you get back. You are out of balance, not because you weren't working, but because you changed your whole function. You might have stayed up all night or did things that you would not have normally done, but by the time you get home, you're going, hey, I need a vacation from that vacation. I don't know about you, but my body tries to get my attention. One of the things that my specific body does is I'll run a fever, so I'll slow down. I know someone else who gets a sore throat when her body is out of balance. And if you can find out what it is that point that your body's saying, stop, or we're going to make you stop. It makes your life a bit easier. Most of us know what it is that reoccurs constantly over and over and over again in our bodies. That is that signaling point that helps us learn when we're out of connoiter. There's a story of 5 balls. And you have the life is a game of juggling. And in these 5 balls, one is called work, one is called family, one is called health, one is called friends, and one is integrity. The whole point of learning how to juggle is recognizing what the balls are. When you learn that the work ball is rubber, but the other four are glass, you'll be a bit more careful with them. That work ball is always going to come back, is always going to reoccur in your life. But the friendship, your family, your integrity, it doesn't bounce back as quickly. Now for spiritualists, that's not where we go to look for our balance. With the law of balance, I'd rather look at the four balls, which I would call spiritual time, physical time, sleep time, and work time. These balls, that when we are born, start out being of equal size. Our parents push us. Okay, honey, you need to go to sleep now. It's time to sleep. You play. You actually play. And work for us is school. But that's okay. They're all equal in our lives. And we tend to be a great deal healthier as children. And then when we become adults, the balance is out of whack. We forget the very basics, and our juggling act, holding those balls in the air, becomes different. Because then, spiritual time, let's break down the four balls. Spiritual time is the time to pray and meditate and be quiet. Be with yourself. Reflect and listen to the source of light. That doesn't mean you have to go to church. It just means that you have to take time to be quiet. And it doesn't mean that each ball has to be the exact size, that you spend the same amount of time in prayer as you do at work, because that's not going to occur. But what it does mean is that the amount, the integrity of the time that you spend in prayer is going to be the same amount of integrity that you give to your workplace, if that makes sense. Physical time. This is the actual time when you turn off everything else and become physically grounded. Whether this is gardening or swimming, exercising, playing. Physical time is what I would say is playing time, when you get to turn off your brain and just enjoy being alive. You're using the body, you're using your muscles. Your physical body has to be used and stretched and enjoyed for all the balls to be in balance. And sleep time. We really don't need as much sleep as we think we do. But this category should be only the same size as your physical. Not out of connoiter. Work time. This category comprises that which you do each day for another. Not what you do for yourself, but what you do for another. All illnesses and overweight can be tracked to the imbalance in your body, to the imbalance in the balls.